Alright, so I've talked about how to resell Supreme and Bape in a general way, and really I've talked about how to resell hypebeast brand. But today I'm going to be specifically going over Bape and how to resell that, because really when it comes to Bape, they're actually a bit harder to resell and a bit more difficult, because you're going to have items that have some hype behind them or have a lot of talk behind them, but they have no resale value, or they have expensive retail point and they just don't resell whatsoever. So today I'm really going to be going over Bape and how to resell it in a specific way, because obviously Bape is a bit different to resale than a brand like Supreme. They don't really have too much resale, but I'm going to be showing you how to resell it because it's actually not that difficult once you figure it out. So basically, I'm going to get straight into this video. Be sure you guys do like the video. Let's shoot for 15 likes in this video. That'd be highly appreciated. And also, be sure you guys do subscribe if you are new for more big videos like this, like Supreme Bape Palace videos like this. Obviously, other hypebeast brands videos and discussions, since really Supreme is obviously on the off season. So I'll be changing it up a bit. Obviously, still the same topics, but be sure you guys do subscribe for that. I highly appreciate it if you are new. I mean, it's just something you guys can do. It's up to you, but obviously, that's what I have to offer. So subscribe for that. And anyways, enough talk. Let's get straight into the video. Alright, so my first real tip, this is sort of just like a general tip, but it's a bit more in depth, is finding out the most hyped items. Now with other brands like Supreme, you can obviously sell items that aren't super hyped. Like you have accessories that sell really well and other stuff like that, like not the most hyped item. Like you have items that you can resell pretty easily, like hats. So really when you get into it, obviously hats are harder to flip, but explaining this, really Supreme has a lot of resale, but getting into Bape, there's some items you pick up and they don't have any resale value. So basically going into this, what I mean by this is basically when it comes to Bape items, you need to figure out what has the most talk around it, and you need to actually figure out the item that has the most talk around it and try to cop it, because that's probably going to be one of the only items that resells. Like find the most hyped items and try to cop those so you can resell them. And obviously it's a bit more difficult to find the most hyped items for Bape. You really just got to start looking a lot and do your research, find out everything you can from people, and that's really how you resell Bape items. That's one of the most important things, is figuring out the most hyped item, copying it, and reselling it. Now obviously these items sell out pretty quick, so you got to figure out a way to cop it efficiently and do that. And this actually leads on to my next tip. When it comes to copying things for people and figuring out the most hyped items, it's actually pretty important in my next tip. So I'm going to get straight into my next tip. But really when going over this first tip and going over copying the most hyped items, you usually need to look around the talk, do your research, and figure out what's going to be most hyped. Like today we have the autumn winter collection coming out, and I'm trying to figure out the most hyped items so I could resell them. And you know, obviously there's a lot of resellers, and even if you're trying to cop something to wear, try and figure it out too. Just look at the talk in the comment sections of the Bape Instagram, on forums, and look everywhere you can to really find out the most hyped items that are dropping. Alright, so my next tip when it comes to selling Bape and other brands, mostly Bape, like this is again a Bape video, so I'll be discussing Bape. When it comes to selling Bape, it's also being the plug. Now obviously you guys understand what that means. It's basically copying items for other people, and sometimes those people want to resell the items, and sometimes those people want to cop the items. So basically give people good deals, but then cop a bunch of items for other people. So if you have a bot or like a Bape bot that's really good at copying multiple items at once, start using it. Maybe get 10 people and cop them 10 items and then sell them all to them. And let's say you give them just let's say $15 above retail for each item, unless it's like a charcuterie or whatever it may be. If it's like an expensive item, I get it, but let's say the cheese and you give $10 for above retail in each, that's $100 right there. That's a really easy way to resell for Bape, is obviously be the plug. Find out who wants the items before they're dropping. And I'm not saying being a proxy, like you have to make the deal before it happens. Like don't ask them to send money beforehand. Be kind. Obviously if they flake, that is unfortunate, and obviously that hurts their reputation. So they probably won't flake because that's something they really wouldn't do. And obviously yes, there's a flake warning. I'm going to put that up. There's just a chance of someone flaking. It's how it works. Like obviously you can be the plug and someone's going to flake every once in a while. You know, it's just something we all have to deal with. Like we're resellers. Someone says they're going to cop an item, a day later like, hey, I can't cop it. And it's unfortunate. It's not a good feeling, but this is definitely one of the best tips for reselling Bape items, is being the plug and being the person that hooks people up with items, and it's really the person that cops everything. This will make you a good bit of money, especially if you're doing it every time. You're maybe got a bot that's able to cop 25 items at once or something like that, and you're selling it for $15 above retail each. That's a lot of money right there. So basically when getting into it, reselling Bape is not as difficult as it sounds, and especially if you're able to cop multiple items at once. Be the plug, be the person that hooks people up with good deals. That's definitely an easy way to make money. So let's get into the next tip. Another and really a final tip I have when it comes to selling Bape is really finding uniqueness in items. Now obviously if there's an item that Bape is dropping, has never dropped before, like if it is not a restock, obviously look into it. And if it's a really hyped item that has never dropped before and it's really something unique to the brand, that's definitely an item you want to try to cop and resell, because it'd be easier to resell considering that it's something that's never dropped before. If it's a limited and valuable, that is actually another thing right there. And obviously if it isn't too expensive, which with Bape that's a relative term, but if it isn't way too priced, then you definitely have a chance of reselling it pretty easily. And obviously another thing that you can add on to this is really finding people who want the item. Now I'm not talking about being the plug and talking about beforehand and doing all that. I'm talking about after drop. Look at the comment sections, look everywhere you can at forums, and seeing people saying, hey, I need this item for a decent deal here, blah blah blah, here's what I'm willing to pay and all that, and search for people that are basically looking to cop this item. That's pretty easy. Obviously posting it on as many places you can is a really good tip right there. Posting on Instagram, Grailed, wherever you are able to post it, I recommend doing that, because that'll definitely reach it out to more people, and then obviously that leads to more sales. That's just pretty basic. So even to get into it, obviously selling Bape is not as difficult as it looks. It's obviously just something that's really overrated, and people are like, oh, it's impossible to resell Bape. There's no reselling Bape? Well, Bape isn't dead yet, so obviously it still has resale value, and that's pretty simple right there. So really when getting into it, Bape is still a bit of a growing brand, but still going a bit downhill because less celebrities are wearing it. But the second more celebrities start wearing it again, you don't have to worry, the resale value is going to spike up. So really when getting into it, Bape's a good brand, and obviously it's definitely a good tip when it comes to reselling Bape, is obviously looking at new and unique items and posting it to as many places possible, so you definitely have a much higher chance of selling it. Anyways, thank you all for watching this video. Be sure you guys do subscribe if you are new for more Supreme Bape Pals content like this, and more other stuff really, because obviously Supreme's in the off season, so I'll still be discussing them, but obviously we'll get into more like hypebeast room tour stuff, and obviously more tip videos, because I think you guys enjoyed these over the summer when Supreme is not active. So be sure you guys do subscribe for that. I highly appreciate it. Obviously I do got the Bape tee on right now by Bathing Ape, and obviously I bought it off Pondon. They're a legit site. Yes, I've checked so many times, and obviously it's been recommended by big YouTubers like Richard Lee and everyone else. So Pondon's a legit site. It's where I bought it. Pondon. It's a really good site to buy legit Bape items. Some good deals, some bad. But aside from that, thank you all for watching this video. Hopefully it was good and informal, and really just hope it helped you all out with reselling your Bape items. So anyways, thank you all for watching this video, and I hope to see you all some new subscriber in my next one.